Hello everyone and welcome to Azam Sharp Weekly. In this particular lecture, we are going to be continuing with our CloudKit application for TodoList, and we'll be looking at the delete operation. So we can delete our task from our CloudKit iCloud database. Let's first go ahead and run the application to get a better idea where we are. So you can see that when the application is running, we can see all these tasks being displayed. I can go ahead and filter them using completed and incomplete tasks, and all will obviously show all of the tasks. I can mark some of these tasks to be completed, and they will start showing in the complete column. I can also add a new task. Let's say that if I want to say clean the car, I can go ahead and add that task, and that task is also added. But currently we don't have any feature to delete a particular task. So let's see how we can accomplish that. We're going to jump into the task list view. And the first thing we need to do is to show a delete button when a particular row is swiped from right to left. So that will be our first thing. We need to show a delete button. In order to show the delete button, we can simply change our list to a for each and then put the list on the top. And the reason that we're using for each is that the for each will consist of on delete. You can see that on delete is available over here, and we can use that. This will give us the index set, and using the index set, we can go ahead and delete a particular item. Now, how you delete the item is kind of like a little bit different, as I'll show you. But once you get the index set, you can get a particular index, like the selected index if you want. I mean, you can do all of that in a different function if you want to, that's fine. Or you can simply do it over here. So I can go ahead and say guard led index, and I can say, give me just the first index. Now, there are many different ways of doing that. You can loop through it. We're not really allowing the user to select like different items. So I can use first or last. It's just going to be one anyways. So we're just going to select the first one. Okay. Once we get the index, we can use that index to get the task item. And we can get the task item from the model.task and then passing in the index. There we go. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure that we are calling the delete function of the model. Now, currently the model does not really have anything called delete. So that is something that we will have to implement. So let's go ahead and see how we can do that. And let's see what's going on over here. We can fix that part. There we go. Jump into the model. You can see that the model does not really have any delete function. So how would we delete a particular task? Well, let's go ahead and first create delete task. We are task to be deleted. That's the thing that we're going to pass in. Async throws. And now we need to delete the task. There are many different ways of deleting the task. We can go and use db.deleteRecord and passing in the ID of the task, and that task will be deleted. The problem with this approach is that it's going to take a little bit of time to delete. So what we want to do is not only delete the task from the CloudKit or iCloud database, we also want a little bit of a faster feedback so that we can delete the task from the actual model array. So I'm going to use the same approach over here, and first going to get the ID of the task. Okay, so we'll get the index of the task. And using the index, we can delete the task from the task array. We can say over here task.remove at a particular index, and we can pass in the index. When we remove it from the array, this is going to be a very fast operation. It's just removing an item from an array, but this array is special because this array is marked with published. So anytime we're going to delete this from the array, it's going to refresh our user interface giving an illusion to the user that the task has been deleted. But we know, and you know, that the task is actually not being deleted from the CloudKit database. That we still need to do. To do that, we need to call db.delete record, and we need to pass in the record ID. So we can simply go ahead and say task to be deleted and record ID. The record ID that you need to pass over here, it has to be unwrapped. So I can go ahead and unwrap it over here. Now you might be saying, hold on a second, how can you do a force unwrap over here? Well, if a task is about to be deleted, that task must have a record ID. So there is no way that this record ID will be null. I mean, if it's null, then we have a different issue, right? But I don't think it can ever be null because all of these tasks are actually coming from the CloudKit. And whenever you save something in the CloudKit, it actually assigns the ID automatically. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the actual, well, it's going to be just deleted record. I think that's what it's going to give you. Now over here, we have to do a couple of different things because somehow, for some reason, this delete operation can actually fail. And if it fails, we don't want our task array to still have that deleted item. So we have to revert the changes back. So I'm going to go ahead and perform this action. If there is a problem over here, we're going to catch it. And what should we do when we catch it? Well, we need to put back the thing that we deleted, put back the task into the task array. Which means that we can say task dot, and then we can simply put it, all right? You can do like append, that will be the easiest one, and then task to be deleted. And we need to tell the UI that something, we need to throw an error after this, that something bad has happened and your task was not deleted. So sorry about that, blah, blah, blah. So we need to do that also. But what kind of an error are we going to throw? Let's go ahead and see if we have any error. We have over here something called operation failed, which is like a sample error. I don't think this was available over there. So let's go to delete that. And we will say task error. We will have a case operation failed, which you can pass an error. I mean, you can create a different exception over here if you want to. So now we can throw the exception. Okay, over here we can say throw, and we can say over here task error, operation failed, and we can pass in the error. And the reason that we're passing in the error and throwing the error again is because we need to tell our UI that, hey, something bad has happened. We're not going to use that deleted record, but so that's why I'm using an underscore. I'm ignoring the value, and that will actually do the trick. Now let's go back into our task list view and try to figure out how we can call that function. We have the task item that we want to delete. We also probably have the model right there. I can go ahead and say model.delete task, but I can't really do that because the delete task is a async function, and async function needs to be called in the async context. And right now I'm not inside the async context. So the first thing I would do is probably go ahead and mark it like this. And then I can await for it. Okay, and since it's a try, we will have to wrap this around, and we have to catch it also. Right now, we don't have any capability of displaying the error to the user, so I'm just going to catch it and display it in the console, but eventually we should be displaying it somewhere else. Okay, so there you have it. This is going to allow us to delete a task from the CloudKit. Let's go ahead and run this and see it in action. So I'm going to go back, run the app, and since we have implemented the onDelete, you can see that now the delete button is appearing. Okay, so I'm going to delete this and feed the cat. And let's go back over here and try to pull this information and see that if the task is deleted. I think we deleted feed the cat. So yeah, we don't really see feed the cat over here. Now let's go ahead and delete task number 12. And if I refresh it, task number 12 is gone. You can see that. Now, if we were not doing this part, let me actually show you. If we were not removing it from an array and we were only deleting it from the CloudKit database, it will still work. But the problem with that approach will be that the delete record is an async operation, so it is going to take a little bit of time to complete. And during that time, a person can move around in their app. Like I can go ahead and delete this mow the lawn, and I can still go over to different tabs over here or different segmented control options, and I can still see that listed over here because it's not deleted yet completely. So that's why we are moving it or removing it from the array to give you an illusion that the task is actually deleted, but we know it's not really deleted from the iCloud database. Eventually, it does get deleted when we run this line. And if there's a problem with this line, if there's something bad happen, then it will be reverted back. All right, let's see if we can actually do that. Let's say that you're trying to delete the record and something bad happened, throwing an error. We will throw the error over here. We will say a task error. Now, let's say that we will create a different kind of error. Let's say a delete failed. All right, now we don't really have that kind of an error right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and create that, delete failed. And let's see what happens. All right. So if we throw this kind of an error, which is delete fail, delete fail, I guess. Delete fail, there we go. So if we throw this kind of an error, obviously we're going to remove this line. This line doesn't make any sense over here. Then we would like to add back the task that you were deleting. Okay, so let's see what happens. What kind of an interface we're going to get. So task number 13, and it's actually added again. Now, it would be a good idea if you add this again into the same spot. That is fine, I guess. We can try to do that. So instead of doing the append child, maybe we can do something like task.insert new element, which is the task to be deleted at the index that you found. So it's not deleted because there was some error in deleting and we reverted it back. Let's go ahead and run it again. Not sure what happened. It actually looks like it deleted. It shouldn't have. Oh, sorry. No, okay, so my mistake. It is actually deleted because I put this line in the wrong place. Obviously, this delete line was already executed. So that's my mistake. So I'm just going to go ahead and call this line just to see what happens. Okay. Let's go ahead and add something more. I'm going to say feed cat. And let me delete feed cat. You can see that it's not letting me delete. Operation is failing, and it's inserting back the same exact task at that location. The reason previously the task was deleted is that I was throwing the error after deleting it. So it was actually deleting a particular task. Now, obviously, you're not going to be calling this on your own. We're just saying that maybe something bad will happen when you're deleting it, and we will revert back the changes. Okay. So there you have it. We have now created this delete operation, which has a capability of reverting also if something bad happens, and it puts back in the same exact location. The next thing that we want to do is to display error to the user in a nice way that something bad has happened. And that is what we're going to do in the future tutorial. If you like this video and want to support my channel, then the best way would be to check out my brand new Udemy courses. I just published a brand new course on iOS development using UIKit. And this is a completely programmatic course. I'm not using storyboard, not that there is anything wrong with that, but it's a very different approach. Just using everything is built using code. So you're going to enjoy that. Apart from that, you can check out my course on SwiftUI. This is a 26.5-hour long course, and it contains a lot of different sections that you're going to enjoy. And I have a lot of other courses. You can see that I have courses for MVVM design pattern. I have course on core data. Check out the link in the description, and you will be able to go to my own website where you can find all of these courses and the best prices. Thank you so much, and hope you enjoy.